So I definitely wasn't planning to make a video for the last two playing games, just thinking about them. I thought they would both be blowouts, like the Wizards would win in the East and the Warriors would win in the West. I was right about one, but the other one was completely different and I was wrong, and it was probably a very, very good game. All I can say is that the Western Conference playing games were definitely very, very entertaining compared to the Eastern Conference games. But then again, that's just down to the Western Conference being strong as hell, and the playoffs are going to just be even better. So yeah, the Eastern Conference game was like, the Wizards blew out the Pacers. Pacers never looked good, and Westbrook was back to what he does best. He was definitely better than he was against the Celtics. And Beal didn't seem as injured, I guess. Hopefully he'll be back to his best so they can face the Sixers at full capacity. That would be a great series. Still think the Sixers would beat them in 5 games, but you never know with Westbrook and Beal what you get with them. The Western Conference game, it was an entertaining game. I can't lie. I wasn't going to watch it. I ended up watching half of it. And it was worth it because that last fourth quarter and that last overtime was incredible. It was insane. I still can't believe the Warriors lost because I thought they would win just because they have that star power in Steph Curry. And what he's done this year, I thought he would be able to carry the Warriors, but the lack of talent, the lack of depth in that Warriors team kind of showed in that game because the Grizzlies really brought out a team with a lot of depth, like loads of different players helped win that game. You had John Morant, who was their star player, who was like scoring, getting assists. He got 6 rebounds, 6 assists. And then you had Kyle Anderson, Dillon Brooks, who were great defensively, especially Dillon Brooks defending Curry. And Kyle Anderson got steals and blocks. And it was a very good game from those three. Then you had people like Xavier Tillman, Grayson Allen just hitting threes, which really helped the Grizzlies. And I just think that the Warriors didn't have that because as soon as the ball left Curry, as soon as the Grizzlies doubled Curry, tripled Curry, Draymond was the only one who could really do anything. If those two weren't involved, it was more tough for the Warriors to make shots. Wiggins wasn't great either. There was this one play in overtime where Wiggins completely missed a 3. That was not good because it's overtime. You need to score. You need to get a good look and you need to score. Wiggins missed that 3 and Grizzlies ended up winning the game. There was one thing in regulation when Taylor Jenkins didn't use his timeout to challenge the decision, because it was definitely, it wasn't a defensive foul because he kicked his leg out. I was kind of surprised he didn't. I think if Draymond had hit the game winner, then Taylor Jenkins would have got sick for not using the timeout, but I guess it worked out in the end because he had 2 timeouts at the end to use and just calm everything down. And Kyle Anderson, good passing, just Desmond Bain with the 3-point play, finished the game, and that was the end of that. And yeah, the games were great. Now, if we're looking at the playoff matchups now, which is Grizzlies versus Jazz, I think the Jazz will be very, very happy that they got the Grizzlies and not the Warriors, because even though the Warriors, looking at this game, they don't have the same talent pool or maybe the same depth as the Grizzlies had. I think just Curry is the difference maker, and I think if he went off against the Jazz, they could have easily taken 2 or 3 games or even upset the Jazz. I think the Grizzlies will maybe win 1 game against the Jazz, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe in 4 and 5 games, the Jazz will take the series, depending on how Donovan Mitchell is when he comes back. And I think it's a good series for Donovan Mitchell to come back in from injury. I think he'll be able to play with a minutes restriction in this, depending on how bad the injury was. So hopefully he'll be back to his best within that series. And the Jazz should take that series in 4 or 5. Looking at the way they played throughout the whole season, they should be winning that. Then you have the Sixers versus Wizards, which again seems like an easy win for the Sixers. I just think 76ers, it's unless Beal and Westbrook really, really play well, I just don't see the Wizards even challenging